makes the comeback, and he stays on the tear that he was on before.
Who? Your dentist?
Yeah, I mean,
he was on a tear.
Beat the hell out of Manny.
Yeah, he did.
Beat the hell out. I almost beat the hell out of you.
No, he didn't.
Oh no, Mario Barrios, don't do it. Don't go fight Manny Pacquiao. I understand the money's good, but don't do it. Don't do it. But at the same time, shit, you know what? Maybe go ahead and do it. But
Manny Pacquiao is putting work in training, making it clear that he's coming to end Barrios. However, the pros seem to know this will be tougher. The 46-year-old Filipino icon is on the verge of a stunning return to the ring, targeting Mario Barrios for the WBC welterweight title. It's a move that has stirred the boxing world, a comeback that feels both thrilling and risky. The WBC has sanctioned the bout, but Pacquiao still has to make the final call. His life is more than just boxing now. He's a senator, deep into the political game, with an election on May 12th that could shape his decision.
It's a guy Manny Pacquiao. Why? There are plenty of other fights to be making. But yet we're getting Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios. Is Manny Pacquiao even ready to fight in the ring? Why is he? I get he still loves the sport, but listen, you are an all-time great, a legend of the sport, a Hall of Famer. Why return? Why not just go pursue other things? If anything, do those little cheap expedition fights that you did last year, or those that are similar to that of what Floyd Mayweather keeps doing. Why is Manny Pacquiao doing a real legitimate fight? I get for its world championship, but against Mario Barrios. Why is Mario Barrios?
Sean Gibbons of MP Promotions, Pacquiao's trusted advisor, kept it straightforward when speaking to Sky Sports. Manny Pacquiao is running for senator here in the Philippines. The election is on May 12th. He will make some decisions after that on what he's doing. It's a reminder that this isn't the same Pacquiao who once tore through weight classes like a whirlwind. This is a man juggling the chaos of politics with the punishing demands of a potential title fight.
Yeah, it's surprising. Obviously, I know Manny very well. You know, he's a true competitor. He's a guy that if you put something in his head, and obviously to create more history, he's a guy that's going to give everything and try his best. That's what Manny, one thing I always learn with Manny is give 110% and try your best no matter what. So yeah, he's going to give it his all. Again, you can't beat Father Time though. Father Time is hard, and it was very hard watching him fight Lucas. You could see it. And then watching the exhibition he had with...
But not everyone is convinced this is the right move. Amir Khan, a man who once dreamed of trading punches with Pacquiao, sees this as a dangerous choice. To Khan, it's a risky proposition for a fighter long past his prime. Khan told Sky Sports, "It's a fantastic fight for Mario. He needs that big fight. He'll be paid well, and fighting a legend like Manny Pacquiao, who would say no to that? It's a fair point. For Barrios, this is a life-changing opportunity, the kind of fight that can secure his financial future and cement his legacy." Khan knows this all too well, having fought his way to similar high-stakes moments throughout his own career.
They believe Pacquiao's gonna beat Barrios, which is gonna lead to a Tank Pacquiao fight?
Yes, look around, look in the Discord. That's what everybody, Pac and Tank, that's being set up.
Oh,
Tank
so
and Pac.
okay, so they saying Barrios is the setup for Tank and Pac. I didn't see that, but your argument makes sense. If he beats Barrios, there's nothing wrong with him fighting Tank. But the issue is he don't deserve the Barrios fight off of 3 years off and a loss to Ugas.
And that's Crimea River, man. That's what boxing is. But longer deserve a Canelo fight.
But Khan didn't stop there. He recalled his own experience sparring with Barrios back when they shared the same trainer, Virgil Hunter. When me and Virgil were training together, I used to spar with him quite a lot. He's a very good boxer, Khan said, adding a personal touch that cuts through the usual fight hype. I don't know how much Manny's got left in him. If they were in their prime, in their peak, then I'd say all day Manny Pacquiao. But this could be a tricky fight for Pacquiao. Khan's words carry the weight of a man who understands just how unforgiving the ring can be, especially for a fighter returning after a long layoff.
Before you get too excited, let's hear what Amir Khan has to say. Khan, who sparred with Barrios, warns that this could be a dangerous move for Pacquiao. He says, Barrios is a very good boxer. I don't know how much Manny's got left in him. Khan's got a point. Pacquiao has been out of the game for a while, and Barrios is in his prime at 29. Is this a smart comeback or a risky gamble? What do you think? Will Pacquiao's legendary speed and power prevail, or is Father Time undefeated?
Khan drilled further into the risks, touching on the physical toll that age and inactivity can take. At the end of the day, he's been out of the ring for a long time, And has he still got the fire in his belly? Barrios, I'm sure he's going to come in wanting to win this fight because it can change his life. This isn't just about legacy for Barrios, it's about seizing the moment, the kind of moment that only comes once in a career.
Pac-Man comeback? What's going on? Manny Pacquiao is coming back for another fight against Mario Barrios for the WBC Welterweight Championship, I believe. Is that something, or is it just?
I don't know.
Tabloids?
I don't know. I keep laughing about that fight. I don't know. I don't know if they exist. I don't know where the money would come from.
Who's paying the Pacquiao tax?
I don't know. I don't know anything about this. All I know is that it just seems the guy's almost 50 years old. I mean, come on, was he?
Khan then delivered the kind of blunt advice only a fellow fighter can offer. A long layoff, and at the same time, you're always that one punch away from getting hurt. I'm sure he's got a great career ahead of him in politics, Khan said. He doesn't need to come back, but sometimes you do miss the sport. Manny might miss not having that recognition, that love he used to get being a fighter, but I'm sure people will turn up to watch him. It's an interesting perspective, one that captures the psychological pull of the ring. Pacquiao has nothing left to prove, yet here he is, drawn back by the roar of the crowd and the thrill of competition. Khan even suggested that if Pacquiao insists on a comeback, he should pick an opponent closer to his own situation. A fellow veteran, someone like Khan himself. If I was to advise Manny, I wouldn't say to come back. You should come back to someone that's already retired, someone like myself, for example, because then it's an even fight. But when you look at a young fighter who's still a fighter, who's still boxing, who's active, sometimes it's dangerous.
As of now, Mario Barrios is the WBC champion, so who is he mandated to fight next? Do you have made that decision yet?
Well, at this time, Mario Barrios is going to fight Manny Pacquiao in July. That's a tremendous fight. There's a final elimination taking place in North Africa, New Guinea with Chisoko. And there's just many interests in the division. It's a great weight category.
I didn't know about Manny Pacquiao, so is this something is it out there?
While Khan is cautioning Pacquiao, Barrios is embracing the moment with open arms. Speaking to KSAT 12 Sports, Barrios didn't hold back his excitement. I'm very excited at the possibility of this fight being made, he said. Manny Pacquiao is a future Hall of Famer, a legend, and someone I looked up to growing up. To share the ring with him would be an honor and a dream come true. There's a genuine, almost boyish admiration in his words, a respect for a man who once seemed like a mythical figure on TV screens. Barrios has been busy in the ring, fighting 6 times since COVID-19 disrupted the world in 2020. His most recent outing was a successful defense of his WBC interim world welterweight title against Fabian Maidana.
Former opponent Manny Pacquiao coming back. What do you think about that?
I wish him all the best. I mean, obviously, look, the truth is the truth. He's obviously not the same Pacquiao that fought me, that fought the greats. I wish him the best. Be careful up there. You know, he's not young like he used to be, but I'm sure he still has that power. So anything can happen, but yeah, just be careful.
Thank you, Oscar.
Oscar, if you since you all talked about Chris Eubanks' weight, and knowing how hard it is, how come you?
With a 29-2 record and 18 KOs, Barrios is sharp, powerful, and crucially active. Unlike Pacquiao, he hasn't been dealing with the distractions of political life. He's been doing what fighters do: training, fighting, and winning. Barrios' trainer, Bob Santos, added his own thoughts, brimming with confidence. "We would love to step into the ring with Manny Pacquiao," Santos told KSAT 12 Sports. Mario Barrios is a world champion and deserving of this opportunity. This fight would go down as one of the most memorable fights in San Antonio history and sports in general. There's a sense of destiny in Santos' words, a belief that Barrios isn't just fighting Pacquiao. He's fighting for his place in the sport's history.
This should be Pacquiao's 40. What you said, 49?
He's 46, sir.
46?
Yeah.
Even worse. I mean, 46, 49. No, Pacquiao, stop.
Pacquiao himself isn't shy about his ambitions. In a June interview, he laid out his motivations with characteristic bluntness. "I made history at 40 beating Keith Thurman, and I feel at 45, I have a lot left in the game as I haven't taken a lot of punishment over the last few years," Pacquiao said. "I want to go out making history. It's a bold declaration, the kind that only a man with an iron will and unshakable self-belief would make. Adding another layer to the story, Conor Benn recently shared his own take on Pacquiao's return. Speaking to IFL TV, Ben admitted to being frustrated by the situation. "It's frustrating because I was in line to fight Barrios for the WBC world title," Ben said. "It kills me. It killed me because I've got my dad's WBC belt up in my house and it says, 'It's time for you to go get yours, son.'" For Ben, this isn't just a missed opportunity, it's a stolen dream.
Look, you're talking to a legend here, Conor. You're talking to a Hall of Famer, somebody who's done so much in the sport. What makes you think you can beat this man?
He's a legend of the game. You can't knock him for that. 8th Division World Champion. But it's my time.
Why take on a young lion like Conor Benn?
You know, I'm giving him a chance to have to experience like a good fight, and we glad to entertain people, entertain the fans.
Is this the last fight for you?
I cannot.
Yet Ben still respects Pacquiao's decision. Of course, Pacquiao deserves the opportunity. He's a legend of the game, a Hall of Famer, Ben continued. People are going to talk about you regardless, good or bad. What happens when he wins it, if he wins it? If he wants to come and do a George Foreman and win a world title at the age of 45, mate, crack on. Come back and prove the world wrong. It's a fitting sentiment for a fight that feels equal parts risky and inspiring. For Pacquiao, it's a chance to defy the odds one last time. For Barrios, it's a shot at immortality. For the fans, it's the kind of spectacle that only boxing can deliver. Raw, unpredictable, and utterly captivating.
Ooh, I lost speed and power, baby. It's all in there. Let's get it. Somebody's in trouble. Somebody's in trouble.
Bud Crawford found himself in the spotlight again, not just for his own fight, but for his thoughts on a legend's comeback. After the Canelo Alvarez vs. William Skull bout, reporters wasted no time cornering him about Manny Pacquiao's rumored return against Mario Barrios. They wanted to know if Crawford thought Pacquiao, at 45, was pushing his luck. Crawford, known for his calculated approach in the ring, kept his response measured. "I don't know, we shall see. I don't know," he said, clearly not eager to pass judgment on a fighter with a legacy as towering as Pacquiao's.
And being chinny doesn't have anything to do with your heart. You know what I'm saying? Because you can have the heart to get knocked down and get back up. We've seen fighters do that. You know what I'm saying? We've seen fighters like Manny Pacquiao get, dropped 3 times in a fight and come back and win the fight. You know what I'm saying? So it's that happens. The thing is what you do once you get back up. How long does it take you to get your faculties back in order? Can you change the tone from that point and now be the person that's producing majority of the offense?
But the question clearly still exists, and Crawford didn't shy away when pressed further. "I can't say if he's too old or not, you know. If he gets in there and wins, then everybody will be saying differently," he added, leaving the door open for Pacquiao to defy the odds once again. It was a respectful nod to a fighter who has built a career on surprising doubters and shattering expectations, even as time has chipped away at his once unstoppable speed and power. Crawford's words captured the uncertainty that comes with any great fighter's comeback. You just never know, especially with someone like Pacquiao, who has rewritten the script so many times before.
Don't shadow boxing like that.
Yeah, it's lazy, right? Just kind of.
When you do the shadow boxing like that, what is that for? Because you can apply that habit. You become a habit. When you shadow boxing like.
Speed.
While Crawford took the diplomatic route, others weren't as reserved. Tim Bradley, a man who shared the ring with Pacquiao 3 times, spoke with the bluntness of someone who has felt those punches firsthand. Bradley, who won a controversial decision against Pacquiao in their first encounter before losing the next 2, didn't mince words. Speaking to Chris Mannix, he offered a grim assessment of the matchup, highlighting the inherent dangers of a 45-year-old stepping back into the ring against a younger, fresher opponent like Barrios.
Pacquiao, what a fighter.
He just fought again. He just had an exhibition fight in Japan, which is ridiculous. Didn't look that good.
I used to like watching Oscar De La Hoya.
Barrios is no slouch, Bradley said. Barrios is a young fighter, a bigger fighter, knows how to control the distance very well, can punch a little bit like he's no easy task for anybody in the welterweight division. Bradley's respect for Barrios is clear, but his concern for Pacquiao cuts deeper. He knows the cruel nature of this sport, where reflexes slow, but the punches only get harder. For Manny to come back after this long and to face a young guy like that is dangerous, Bradley continued. Sometimes these old legends gotta get beat up several times before they call it quits. That Ugas fight, I don't know if it was enough for Pacquiao. That's why he's coming back, but Barrios, he can finish Pacquiao. There's a possibility that he can finish Pacquiao and cause him to go back into retirement.
Yeah, well, hit me out. And then they said Pacquiao was coming out
for Barrios.
That might be the throw-off. Bro, I think people would definitely spend money to see Mayweather versus Pacquiao again. Believe it or not. Because it's a fan base thing with that.
People love nostalgia. People love nostalgia.
It's a stark warning, one that reflects the brutal reality of combat sports. Bradley isn't just talking about a potential loss on the scorecards. He's talking about the kind of physical toll that can change a fighter forever, the kind of beating that forces even the proudest warriors to hang up the gloves for good. For Bradley, this isn't just a question of whether Pacquiao can win a title at 45, it's a question of whether he can walk away from the ring with his health intact.
You retire? You're not retired? What's going on?
Oh, I'm still active. I'm in active training. I do train.
Is he going to do an exhibition? He wants to, yeah.
No, you don't want an exhibition. You just fight real guy.
Oh, a real fight.
Financial. I mean, any fighter that comes back, especially from retirement, a guy like Manny Pacquiao.
And Bradley isn't alone in his skepticism. Paulie Malignaggi, another former champion-turned-commentator, took an even harsher stance. Speaking on Pro Box TV, Malignaggi didn't just question Pacquiao's physical readiness, he outright condemned the idea of a 45-year-old fighter jumping straight into a title fight. Even if the governing bodies, as shameless as they can sometimes be, I can't see this guy just walking right back into a title fight after 3.5 years off, Malignaggi said, his tone dripping with disbelief. Not just 3.5 years off. He's 45 years old. There's got to be a health hazard here.
I remember when I fought Errol Spence, and he was the first fighter to ever stop me, and everyone was asking, man, I mean, he must hit harder than Pacquiao and Rusan. And I said, no, actually, he doesn't hit harder than either. They both hit harder than him. Well, how did he stop him? Like, he hit me with a lot. It wasn't the one punch. It was the number of punches that he...
Malignaggi's criticism went beyond the typical concerns about ring rust and diminished reflexes. He seemed genuinely worried about Pacquiao's well-being, questioning the motives behind the comeback. You gotta check him out against a mid-range contender first, Malignaggi argued, clearly skeptical of Pacquiao's chances against a young, hungry fighter like Barrios. Or maybe they're watching him in those exhibitions he's doing, having the eyeball test to see if he's capable of reacting and punching.
I'm not gonna believe it 100% until I see PBC announce it and everything per se, but I mean, this is a fight that has been in talks from a lot of people, from that side, saying that Mario Barrios and Manny Pacquiao been negotiating the fight and everything. And I'm gonna just be real, honestly, man. I don't care for this fight,
But it was Malignaggi's next point that cut the deepest. He didn't just question Pacquiao's physical state; he questioned the very premise of the comeback. To Malignaggi, this isn't just about a fighter looking for one last taste of glory. It's about money, plain and simple. 45 years old is 45 years old, he said, his tone almost exasperated. Let me put it this way. Guys who start doing this at 45, you're starting to get to that risk factor age, especially when you haven't been active. You gotta start to wonder if this guy's broke, 45 years old, and he's still chasing these kinds of fights, this kind of money. I don't want to hear he's a competitor and whatnot. That's extreme, man. For Malignaggi, the risks are simply too great to ignore. It can be dangerous, he said. He's been in a lot of tough fights. Manny's not exactly a guy whose defense was shining.
$2 in his career, I believe, something like that. 220 million.
Some guys just want to just box till they can't no more, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
I guess if somebody giving you a check. Somebody giving you a check, why not, right?
He's 46 though, see?
I mean, yeah, Mayweather be doing exhibitions.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with doing exhibitions. You're fighting guys like YouTubers. You're fighting guys like...
It's a brutally honest take, one that strips away the nostalgia and sentimentality that often surround a legend's comeback. Malignaggi isn't just questioning Pacquiao's ability to win, he's questioning his ability to stay safe in the ring. Yet not everyone sees it this way. WBC President Mauricio Sulaiman has already given the fight his blessing, stating that as long as Pacquiao passes the necessary medical examinations, he can step back into the ring for a shot at glory. To Suleiman, Pacquiao is still a former champion and timeless legend, a fighter whose greatness transcends the usual rules of the sport. It's a viewpoint that will resonate with Pacquiao's legion of fans, the ones who still believe their hero has one more miracle left in him.
This whole shit with Pacquiao and Barrios, man. Mauricio just want those little sanctioning fees, man. That's all it is. They just want a little sanctioning fees off that Pacquiao purse. I'm not with it. I don't think it's cool. You know, there's other people that kind of deserve that a little better. I personally wanted Boots and Barrios to clash. You know, he got a fight on the way. You know what I'm saying? But it's just stupid. I don't see the fucking point in that fight at all. I mean, if it happens, it happens. At the end of the day, he was a generational talent. I think it'll be an entertaining fight because Barrios is there to fight. You know?
In the end, the debate over Pacquiao's comeback comes down to a fundamental question. Can a fighter defy time and rewrite his legacy? Or is this just another chapter in the sport's long history of legends staying too long at the dance? For every George Foreman who shocks the world, there's a Muhammad Ali or an Evander Holyfield who suffers the cruel reality of a sport that gives nothing back in the end. What do you think? Share your thoughts below and subscribe for more updates.